All right, guys. So part of the benchmark that we're going to cover this week is on AR1.1. Okay. And a few questions in the EOC, the practice exercise we have is on APR. So as we talk about APR, APR is stand for the annual percent interest, annual percent rate. Okay, annual percent rate. So if you go down to the bank, a local bank, to borrow some money to buy a car, they can or credit card, for example. Credit card is another good example from the APR, the annual percent rate, how much you pay annually, yearly. Okay, so for this problem, hopefully none of us gonna run into this situation down the road because as I'm looking at this problem right now, that's really expensive loan that you got there. So Bob had an unexpected expenses this month and did have enough money in his saving account to pay the rent. So he did not have enough money to pay for his rent, $1,100. So hopefully we're gonna have some saving in our renting account at least a couple of months in advance so that we run into this problem. We don't have to run down to the bank or run to your friend and borrow the money. He end up charging you so much for the interest. Right, so he only needs the money for 18 days. Okay, that's what it say right here. To borrow money until his paycheck is in 18 days from now. Okay, so again, highlight all the keys information. So he's gonna borrow $1,100 for his rent. Okay, all right, $1,100, and he only need 18 days. So in other words, once he get his paycheck, he's gonna pay back the money in full, plus the interest rate, plus the interest, how much money he pay for interest. But here's what Larry's gonna charge him. Larry's gonna charge him $300 for the interest, okay, for 18 days. So if Larry give Bob the money, $1,100 pay for his rent because his rent is due today, then Bob has to pay additional of $300 in interest to Larry, but in 18 days later he had to pay that money. So the question here is, what is APR? What is the annual percent rate for this loan? Okay, and then it's round your answer to the nearest whole number. Okay, so first things first, we're talking about APR. APR is mean annual. Annual is mean yearly, and there are 365 days a year. Okay, of course there's a leap year and all that, but on average we're gonna count that as 365 days a year. Okay, now he pays Larry $300 in interest in 18 days. So here's the first thing you need to do. You're going to take 300 and you're going to go ahead and divide that by 18. Okay, because we want to calculate how much Bob has to pay Larry each day. So if you take 300 divided by 18, so that's going to give you about 16.66. So it's about $16.66 per day. Okay, per day. Now I'm going to take 1666. Okay, I'm going to have to go ahead and multiply that, the total of 365 days. So let's say Bob decided to pay the money a year later, 365 days later. How much he owe Larry in total? So we're going to take 300 divided by 18, which is $16.66, multiply that to 365, and that's to give us a total of $6,083. So it's about $6,083. Okay, that is how much Bob's gonna have to pay Larry if Bob decided to keep the loan for the whole entire year, not 18 days, for the whole entire year. Well, I can tell you right now, that is a bad Larry right there. That's a lot of money that he's charging Bob for interest. Okay, Just imagine you borrow $1,100 and then you end up to pay $6,000 in interest. That's something that you probably don't want to get yourself into. Okay. All right. But again, here is just a math problem. We're just trying to calculate the APR, the annual percent rate. Okay. So the formula to find the 8% annual percent rate is mean you have to take how much you borrow, which is 1,000. Okay. 100. I'm sorry. You have to take the total that you borrow, which is $6,083, and you're going to divide that to the principal, which is how much money you took out at the beginning, which is $1,100. Okay, so let's get the calculator to do the work for us. I'm going to take $6,083. Okay, and I keep my decimal the same since I have the calculator right there, divided by $1,100, and that is going to give me 5.53. 5.53. 5.5. Now that is in terms of decimal, but the question asked is percent. Round your answer in whole percent. So you're gonna take 5.53 multiply to 100, and that would give me 553%. The question says round your answer to the nearest whole percent. So I'm gonna keep that as 553%. That's gonna give us 553%. I'm sure no one wants to take out a loan that charging 553% annually. That's just crazy. Usually credit cards would charge you around 20-25% for the APR. Okay, so I would not. I would find other ways to get the loan to pay for your rent. But who knows? Maybe Bob run into a dead end where he has to go down to Larry's to borrow the money. But the answer for this problem is 553%. Now, one thing that I want you guys to keep in mind, when you put in 553 into the answer, it's not going to give you full credit. So let me show you what I meant on the test. So if I go to my test right now, if I put in 500, okay, so let's go to the problem. If I put in 553, it's only going to give me half of the point. So this problem is a one whole point. But if I put in 553, it's only going to give me half a point. You need to put in 553%. Then it will give you a whole total point.